there, welcome. I'm Belle, and today I'm gonna be talking about how to present the target language. But before we do that, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I put a new video every single Friday. Also, click the bell and turn on your post notifications so that YouTube tells you whenever I post a video. Give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, especially my Instagram because I'm very active there. That's definitely my most active social media, so please make sure to do that. All the links will be in the description below. So yeah, without further ado, let's go right into the video. I do receive a lot of messages regarding the target language and how to present it, because I know that it can be challenging for a teacher, especially when it's kind of boring and when it's a grammar point. I know that as teachers we don't get excited about it most of the time. So with that said, there is a trick to do it, and there is something that I've been doing for many years. And if you do my course, Be the Material, you know that, because I have a long, super long video and super complete video about it there. So check it out, the link will be in the description down below. But anyways, I do touch on that because I feel like a lot of teachers don't do that. And something to keep in mind when we talk about it is that in a class we have to practice all the 4 abilities. If you can't practice all the 4 abilities, you have to practice at least 3. 4 is the ideal, obviously, but at least 3, I think that's the best thing to do as a teacher. That's definitely your goal as a teacher, to practice all those abilities. And there is a way that you can practice all those abilities and also introduce the target language in a very smooth way. So this moment is right before the presentation moment, and I know that sometimes the presentation moment can be a little bit loose, and we struggle a little to find context for it. But with this moment, with this trick, you won't struggle anymore. And this is the noticing / recognition moment. Oh my god, after I found out about it, I can't have a lesson without this moment. So the noticing / recognition moment, I'll just call it noticing because that's the terminology that I use for it the most. So the noticing moment is a moment right before the presentation moment, and it is usually a listening activity or a reading activity, so that you don't put those activities, those listening and reading activities, dislocated in the lesson. So the order usually is like homework correction, so you do that in the beginning. After the homework correction, you can work on vocabulary, have some drills. After that is the noticing moment. So the noticing should be linked and totally connected to the vocabulary. So obviously in this reading activity or in this listening activity, you will practice in a way the vocabulary, but also along with the vocabulary you will be introducing in a way the target language, the grammar point. That's why it's called noticing, because that's the moment that the students will have their first contact with that language, with that target language. Even though they hadn't had any contact with that language up to that point, that's the point that they have the first contact. So that way it's everything is very smoothly linked if you pay attention, because the vocabulary is linked to the noticing moment and the noticing moment is linked to the presentation moment. So how do you do that? Easy. Easy. After you explain the activity, the listening or the reading activity, the students do that activity, you copy some of those sentences on the board. You can definitely vary that moment, you don't have to put it on the board. You can definitely vary. You can have your students in a circle down on the floor. So you can definitely adapt that according to your teaching style or your group. But the thing is, you have to connect the noticing activity to the presentation moment. how a very practical way to do it is by copying the sentences that contain the target language on the board, and you explain that from that moment on. So that way is a lot more practical for you and for the students, because that way they can look at it, and because they already had that input before, from the listening or from the reading, it's not 100% new. It's new language, obviously, but it's not 100%. And what that means is that they will have an easier time understanding why you use the target language. Because I know that when we explain grammar points, it can be challenging for us to explain to them how to do it, but also how to use it. And that way it is a lot easier for the students to understand how to use it. And that's why that's just one of the reasons why it's so important to have that noticing moment and connecting that noticing moment to the target language and the presentation moment. So with that said, I just want to say that this link from the noticing moment to the presentation moment, it is so important, and you can do it with every single age group. Not every single age group, because you do it with every single age group except very young learners. Just because very young learners can't read or write very well. So with very young learners, there is a completely different process when it comes to introducing the target language. If you want me to make a video on very young learners and how to introduce the target language, please leave in the comments below. I do have a lot of experience with very young learners. So if you want me to do that, I'll be very happy to do that. But also, with young learners, teens and adults, you can definitely do that. And what I mean by young learners is from 8 up, because at 8 years old, they have already learned how to write and read in their mother tongue. So it won't be a problem for them to adjust to a new language, to learning a second language. So that's why I advise you to do this method from the age of 8. Up to 7 years old, there is a different method. There is still a noticing moment. There is definitely a noticing moment, but the transition is a little different and the presentation is very, very different. So with that said, yeah, you can do it with young learners, teens and adults. And as I said before, that way your students will definitely feel a lot more engaged. And again, not only your transitions will be super smooth, also your students will understand the context of how to use it, because they will be exposed to it before the presentation. It won't be something that you will introduce out of the blue, because it will be linked not only to the noticing moment but also to the vocabulary, because it's all linked. And also you will be practicing one more ability, because we all know that in the end of the class, in the personalization moment, we have a speaking activity. We also have a lot of speaking activities throughout the class. If you want me to make a video on that, on how to have speaking activities throughout the class, again, leave in the comments below. And we also know that writing activities, sometimes we have them, sometimes we ask the students to do them as homework, but we often have writing activities as well. But reading and listening, I feel like it's something that's usually done out of the blue, without a connection to the rest of the class, and that's not what we want. We definitely want everything to be connected so that you have a well-rounded class. So I hope this video was helpful for you in any way, shape or form. So again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave in the comments below what other videos you guys want me to do next. Don't forget to follow me on my social media and check out my course BD Material if you're a teacher, because it is for teachers. And turn on your post notifications so that YouTube tells you whenever I post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you next Friday for a brand new video. Bye! you.